Welcome to The Public Storyteller. My name is Michael Stock with Dr. Karen Neal. Karen is affiliate professor at Florida Atlantic University and a professional storyteller. Hi, Karen.
Hello, Michael.
What story do you have today?
Here's one from Yanatha de Souvre.
I'm a trained classical pianist. I bleed treble and bass clef. Haiti is full of artistic talent. You just never see it or hear about it. The talent comes from the literary talent, because I'm also an author, and painters, and we make something out of nothing. And oftentimes, musicians, centuries of musicians, and my godfather, my uncle, Amos Coulanges, was classically trained for years, since the age of 18. He's now in his mid-50s, and he left Haiti and has since returned and continues to tour around the world. My Uncle Daniel played classical guitar music, just like his older brother, Amos Coulanges. A couple of weeks after my birthday this year, and my uncle in France, his birthday is 10 days after mine, so around April 26th, I received a letter from my uncle, and I couldn't believe what I saw. He and I were talking back and forth of my late godfather's musical talents, and that I was wishing and I was hoping that he had something out there. But we heard rumors, but something changed that day. He sent me a package all the way from France, handwritten, and it was in French. My French isn't even that great. I was born in Haiti, and I could speak a little Creole, but it really tested my French. And I read the letter, and there was a DVD that came with it. My Uncle Amos, he and I, through many years of conversation, said we've heard of footage, but we never received it. So my uncle finally heard from the person who recorded it just this year, and he said, Yanatha, I finally got the footage that we've all heard so much about. I'm going to send it to you immediately. I live in a house full of amazing young children, and it's loud and it's noisy. But the minute I popped in that DVD and watched what was on it, it was a old, rare footage of my late godfather, Daniel Coulanges. It all of a sudden got quiet in the house. We live right on Kendall Avenue, and it's a very busy street, but I didn't hear anything. All I heard was my uncle, my godfather, playing music, and all I saw was him playing music. Last time I saw him alive, I was about 11 years old, and he had passed away in 1989. Again, 2 weeks after my birthday. So it's some strange thing. It's always the springtime these things happen, right? He had died of HIV/AIDS in 1989, and that no one talked about it. It was very taboo during that time. My godfather Daniel traveled around with his older brother, Amos Coulanges, and he used to stay with us in Brooklyn, and he would cut my hair. He was one of my first barbers, and would pick us up from school. But he never got a chance to release any of his music. He recorded tons of music, even performed in different places, but never recorded his own music. But now that I'm watching this video of him playing, that was so long ago that I saw him alive. Now I'm seeing him alive again. I started crying. I started crying because as he was playing the music, he was speaking to me through every chord that he played. And when he was introduced by, I guess it was a student program in Staten Island that he had performed for, a Haitian student program that invited him to perform. He played a few classical hits from Jacques Brel, of songs from Non me quitte pas and Andrew Lloyd Webber's Don't Cry for Me, Argentina. But I already started crying. My uncle said, Yanatha, this is yours. You now have, in the letter he said, this is yours. You can see if you can do something with it. I don't know what I can do. After watching it, I felt called to do something. It pulled on me. So what I've decided to do, because I have a background in IT, I was able to create an Indiegogo project to see if I can raise the funds to get the music mastered. The project is called the World's Finest Project. My godfather was introduced as one of the world's finest guitarists, Daniel Coulanges. My godfather died on April 30th, 1989. I was born April 16, and it just happened to be those life-changing events happened around my birthday or 2 weeks after my birthday, both him passing away and then receiving this rare footage.
Yanatha de Souvray, with a story about bringing music back to life.
And in the process, bringing his beloved godfather back to life, I guess you might say, in a virtual sense.
That seems like such a wonderful mission.
You know, Michael, listening to this story, all I could think of was my beloved grandfather and what it would mean to me if I could have a DVD of him. He could be reading the newspaper. He could be washing the dishes. I don't care. But what is different about this era, when we can see, not just even just hear, but see a person we loved who is no longer with us, I just can't get over how fortunate he is.
Well, Yanatha is fortunate that his godfather was such a talented musician. That's why he was recorded.
And also, I would say that his godfather is fortunate as well, because he's got a godson who has the tools. He says, you know, he's got a background in IT, and he's a musician himself. He's got the tools to resurrect. I think that's the word he used, to resurrect this music and this career and have people enjoy it for so many years to come.
It's really sad that his godfather died at such a young age.
Yeah, the tragedy of HIV/AIDS, particularly how it hit Haiti, is a story that will be with us in one way or another for a long time. This story makes me think of the legacy of story that is passed from person to person and that is kept alive. I think we can all, as human beings, relate to the fact that the story and the person and the spirit is being passed on.
I admire Yanatha's goal of getting his godfather's music out there, but being in the music business myself, it's so difficult to get your voice heard in a sea of musicians.
I would say it's difficult getting your voice heard in a sea of voices, period. We have so many sources of music and story and opinion out there right now that anybody's voice is going to be drowned out by competing voices. And yes, unless you, for some reason, become a superstar, have the luck and the talent and the connections to become a superstar. One of the things I love about this story is, long past his death, this man's voice and his talent that was never fully recognized in life, to some extent it was, but never fully, is getting some attention.
And it certainly has affected Yanatha's life as well.
And affected ours, because we get this wonderful voice, and I mean that now in a literal sense. He's got a wonderful speaking voice. You know, I talk a lot about language and storytelling. You know, he doesn't use $15 words. He doesn't use unusually expressive language, but just expressions like, it tested my French, or I popped in the CD. Details like, it was a noisy house. All of a sudden, the house got quiet. You know, this is somebody, maybe he has worked on his musical abilities more than his storytelling abilities, but he's also a terrific storyteller. I think so often people focus on one art form and they don't realize that they have skills in a number of art forms.
Well, thank you for bringing that story in, Karen. I understand there's a free storytelling event tomorrow?
Yes, at 6:30 at Art Serve on Sunrise Boulevard. There is a storytelling concert. These are my students from the workshop we talked about a few weeks back. Art Serve is located at 1350 East Sunrise Boulevard, and their phone number for more information is 954-462-8190. And I hope to see as many people as possible tomorrow night.
And if our listeners would like to share their story on the radio?
Send me an email, cneil, that's C, N as in Nancy, EILE, at fau.edu.
Or check out our website for information and archive stories. WLRN.org, click on radio and the Public Storyteller. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Michael. Have a great week.
Dr. Karen Neal is affiliate professor at Florida Atlantic University and a professional storyteller. My name is Michael Stock. The Public Storyteller returns next Sunday.